G'day mate and welcome back to Capital Industry with me, Jitty. In our last episode, we ran naphtha all around the outside of the crater, and then we ran a goat pipe all the way into the crater, so in the crater we could actually start making rubber and plastics, the other ingredient, inside the crater. Just to cut back on that transport time, because driving plastic and rubber from the upper rim, the very, very edge of the map, all the way down to the bottom of the crater, was causing a fair bit of transport, which of course is going to scale up with time as we add more production inside the crater. The good news is also at the end of the last episode, the zigzag team managed to get in the last of the zigzag, which means we have a shorter route in and out of the crater to transport things like rubber and plastic. It's all right. I'm sure we'll find other uses for the zigzag now it's complete. Maybe we can take a shorter route to ship wood into the crater and other terribly important things. But that's okay. Today's episode, we're going to continue on with new projects, and new objectives, new things. But before I get to any of that, I need to ask the most important question of all, and that is, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like early in the video. Not happy with the video, didn't enjoy the video. I'd like to keep a like anyway. Honestly, it really, really helps out with the algorithm. Speaking of the algorithm, you guys have mentioned many, many times in the comments below that you're surprised the channel only has 28,000 subscribers. You are impressed with the quality of the channel and think we should have some more subscribers. So, as we're in a long let's play, at episode number 35, and we've still got a number to go, might I suggest you click the subscribe button if you haven't already? Yeah. And with all that done, let's have a quick word from our sponsors. As always, at the start of every episode, I like to thank those that go above and beyond. Thank those that choose to support the channel. Some you might call an actual sponsor of the channel. And today we're going to be thanking a brand new YouTube member, a brand new sponsor to the channel, and that would be Alden. Alden, who is a little bit old and going to take a little bit of a while to get around the map. It's okay. He's going to head, halfway across the map to get an upgrade. And we're going to meet him over there because there's a number of other projects I want to do along the way. First thing is I want to set up some new docks. Now, quick go over our docks. Actually, no, first thing I want to do is I want to remove this dock. We have room for how much crude oil? 1,500. So you have 165, which means you have 900, which should instantly end up over there. And come on. And okay, so we have room for another 1,000, which means I should be able to delete all of that. Cool. Yeah, I want to delete all of that. At the same time, I want to upgrade our docks. Now, our docks here, we have a dock size 6, which hangs out a little bit longer because that's going to upgrade into a dock 8. And my dock lines up directly with this line here, which means if I take this dock and I rotate it around and I line it up with this line, it should match that one perfectly on that side, which means I'm going to grab some bricks and I'm going to put the bricks here, perfectly, cool. And then put the next dock. Hello? I need you to say no go over brick. There you go. All right, if you're curious, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big walls, 2 little walls. Yep, that is the perfect size for, well, that's the perfect gap between two cargo docks. And we're just going to mass build all that. Cool. With that done, I want to do a little bit more. Oh, really? Oh, because they didn't Unity. There you go. I need to click on all the Unity buttons. Alden? No, Alden's still on his way. It's all right. We've still got some time. Hopefully all those tanker trucks empty. All right. So with that done, I want to remove that dock. We're going to remove that dock because I just spent a whole lot of concrete slabs and there's oil in that pipe. Can I change this balancer, please, to prioritize oil from in there instead so we can hopefully empty that pipe? Yes, I'd like to rearrange and destroy everything here. Speaking of things I want to destroy, Mr. Shippy, can you go and destroy... Nope. That one's waiting for materials to be delivered. Go over there, please. All right, so we're going to destroy this cargo dock, which means Mr. Cargo Ship, length level 4, is going to disappear. The good news is when he comes back, he's going to come park over here, and he's going to get an upgrade. It doesn't require you to check your emails, doesn't require you to order pills online to go from a size 4 to a size 6. It just happens by you going to sea and coming back. And that is the magic of Capital Industry. But hopefully that pipe is not empty. Well, hopefully that pipe will empty reasonably soon. All right, next thing I want to do, now we know exactly where our dock's going to be, is I want to take Mr. Shippy, and I want to get rid of you. I want to get rid of you. You need to go away as well. I want to take Mr. Shippy. I want to put Mr. Shippy over here. He's off and racing. He doesn't have any crew, but we're going to ignore that fact. All right, Mr. Shippy, we're going to put you here. Now, Mr. Shippy, we need to account for. That's probably the best way of putting it. So can I go into cargo docks? If I put a cargo dock here, we can see that it comes out as far as this line. That's going to be very, very important. We can also see that it is 5 tiles wide. So building that's 5 tiles wide. I don't know. Food production. Mill. You're 5 tiles wide. So if I had another cargo dock here and another cargo dock here, my shipyard just fits, like just squeezes in. And that I'm really, really happy about. What I'm also going to be happy about is if we can get fuel plugged into you, which will go right here. And we need to build you. Now, unfortunately, I can't uni build you, so we're going to have to wait. No pipe. We're going to have to wait for trucks to bring up a whole lot of concrete slabs. Yep. And then I get a bigger pipe? Bigger pipe into there. Cool. Nope. Oh, God. Cut that. Thank you. All right. Dock. And there. Cool. Unity? Didn't think that would work. Okay. Yeah, 800 concrete slabs. But Mr. Shippy has been upgraded. He's gone from a 4 to a 6. Alden, we know you're old. He made it all the way over here. He has been upgraded. He has been replaced. He is now a little bit bigger and also a little bit slower. Now, today's episode, there's going to be a couple of upgrades happening in the background. We've just done the ships. But we also have a couple of trucks that are being upgraded, mainly because, well, these are full. Hence, I'm removing the uni boost on this because I don't need it currently. We'll leave that to happen in the background. All right, with you now upgraded, well, being built, and you guys upgraded, we're going to turn off that. I don't care. We also don't care about that. And that should do us for the moment. All right, Mr. Shippy went and visited a settlement and is on his way back. He'll pop back in just a second. Also means that hopefully I can remove this infrastructure. I can. Cool. Because we're going to be deleting that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And this diesel pipe that feeds Mr. Shippy is also going away, which clears up a whole lot of stuff across the front of the island. All right, with that done, next thing I need to talk about is the zigzag team. The zigzag team, obviously, they finished at the end of last episode, and that's going to free us up 4 mega excavators and 7 giant dump trucks. We're going to bring everybody off that list and remove you. Also, building pillar. Well, building pillar is not going to collapse anymore because it doesn't exist anymore. Also, we need to, well, actually, we need to do a couple of things. So we have a couple of mega excavators available, and I think for the moment we're going to send them off on the rimming team. Yeah, I think that'll be the quickest and easiest answer. Well, I'm going to add 4 there. We'll add 5 there. 14. 15. We're going to really upgrade the amount of mega guys we have over here. I think it will help in the long run. All right, Mr. Shippy has come back, and you don't really have anything you need to do. But we do have a uranium mine here and no automated way to go harvest it. So I'm going to park Mr. Shippy over there, just so, well, he can eventually pick up uranium and bring it back. Off. Cool. They're all set correctly. All right. Next thing I need to do is we need to talk about this little crew. This little crew in here that was digging out all the sand. They seem to have done a good job, and there seems to be no sand left. So again, I'm going to remove these guys and delete that tower so I don't get confused. And I'm going to be sending one of them over here. Now, this is the tower we were using earlier to, well, store all the dirt in the crater. Now, all the dirt sitting in the crater leaning up against the wall is doing nothing for me. So we're going to press all the wrong buttons. We're going to be trying to find the F button. We are going to be sending one guy down here to start digging up a bunch of dirt. And you. At the same time, I'm going to say export. I want you to put dirt in here, or here. Pretty much all of them. And I need to set all of these manually because for whatever reason this setting doesn't copy and paste between buckets. Probably because they're direct connected to things, but you know, we're just going to set it manually. All right, so we're going to get that done. That's going to send one guy, this guy. It's going to send this guy down the hill. Now, I'm going to prioritize him to dirt, so he digs nothing but dirt, because that's going to be important for us. Can I remove that with Uni? Cool. All right, the other guy is now available. We're going to be sending the other guy over to this tower. This tower is going to be a replacement quartz and sand tower, and we're going to ship him over here. Now, you might say, JD, if you're going to start mining quartz, which is exactly what we're going to be doing, mining quartz and sand right here, now that we've dug out that little pile of sand, surely you want a bigger guy. And I'm like, not really, because we have a little bit of sand stockpiled. Not a lot. And it is moving, but as we can see from the rate it's moving, it's not moving fast. Because we don't use a lot of sand. Like, sure, we use sand to make glass, like a little bit of it. And we also use sand to, well, make copper. It is one of the products in copper. Also, we use sand to make poly. But we just don't use that much. So I think having one diggy boy over here is going to be plenty. We're even so confident we're going to tell him to go aim for the rock first. Don't aim for trying to dig out the sand or the quartz. We're going to make sure you dig out the rock first. Also, when you're done, I want you to put quartz in this bucket, and I want you to put sand in this bucket. The idea, if we have sand in this bucket, it should flow into this bucket, which is where the truck's actually going to pick it up from first. It's like the priority. And if it can't flow, well, the sand's going to flow through to there as the priority. And meanwhile, the quartz is going to come in here and turn to crushed quartz, and then crushed quartz is going to turn into sand. That's going to be the idea. That's going to be the concept. That is going to get an upgrade. So is that going to get an upgrade, because I expect they're going to be full fairly quickly. All right. Hey, Alden. Welcome back, mate. We're 15 minutes in the episode, 10 minutes in the episode, and you've just... it's going to be 15 minutes before you actually dig anything. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We understand you're a little bit old, a little bit slower than you used to be, but we appreciate all the hard work you put in anyway. All right, so I want to do that as well. Next thing I want to do is I want to... Concrete slabs. Concrete slabs are still being an issue. How many do we need? Actually, no, concrete slabs are done. All right, we're good. Next thing I want to do is, now we have rubber inside the crater. I want to upgrade that box, and I want to upgrade that box. We have this one full of construction parts too, so I want to start buffering up construction parts 3. Also, I want some electronics. I want more electronics. All the more electronics. All right, next thing I need to do is we need to talk about chickens. Because we have this little alert over here that says the chickens are starving. Now, there is a number of ways I could fix that. The most logical one would be put down some more farms, which I could do. Although I only have 100 workers available. Oh, actually 100 workers. I have less than 100 workers available because I want to restart research. Cool. Yep, research. I left it up to you guys. In the comment section below for which research we should do next. And it was gold smelting or nuclear reactors. And you guys had some good reasonings for both. Like, we should do gold first so we can get into microchips, because microchips are complicated and they take a long time to build up. Very good point. Very good point. Also, we happen to have some gold in Mr. Shippy already, so obviously it'd be a good idea. Very, very good point. And then other people were like, no, you should do a nuclear reactor first, because nuclear is fun and we want to have the nuclear blueprints. Because, JD, your blueprints are of such high quality, we want to see what you can come up with. And the good news is I have come up with some nuclear blueprints, and we shall be releasing them somewhat shortly, but not quite at the moment. They need to go through a final rendition, a final edit, a final confirmation that they work perfectly, because I don't want to give you subpar blueprints. And then it was back to the gold conversation, like, Jetty, you should do gold. You should do gold because power's fine. Like, we're using less than half the power we have available. And the answer is, we're just going to research everything. We're going to research everything in no particular order. And we'll also get the Tomb of Captains, which is a DLC, a supporters DLC only piece of content that we'll talk about eventually. But this makes a nuclear reactor look cheap. Yeah, it's a little bit of an expensive building. We'll be building that one later. But yeah, we're just going to do the whole lot of research. We'll work out what we're going to build in what order in future time. But for right now, we're just going to build all of it. Also, with the labs now up and running, it means I need more people. More people is also something I'm trying to keep under control by not putting any more housing for, well, 2 reasons. One, I don't have any more room for housing, not in a good way. And 2, well, I want to keep the population down. We'll talk about that in the future when that comes up, not right now. So, back to our chickens. Plan 1, put down more food, more farms, more things to get more chicken, more things to turn to more animal feed to feed to more chickens. Good idea. Solution number 2 is ignore it, because technically they get some food every now and then. So, technically they're being fed sometimes, which means technically the birth rate is still going up. These are almost full, not quite completely full, but almost full. So, plan B is just ignore it. Plan C is fertilizer. Now, we have a number of great farms already. And the first thing I need to do is I need to go to these farms and I need to knock back our fertilizer. Okay. Going over 100% actually has, it has diminishing returns. So we're going to cram all these back to 100%. And in fact, we're going to cram to 0, because most of the time you're actually spending 12 months growing tree saplings. And that box might be empty, but that box be full, and that box be full, and that box be full, and that box be full. So I don't really need any more tree saplings. We're going to knock you back to 100%. We're going to knock you back to 100%, and then we're going to see what it stabilizes at. Now, I could get more fertilizer. We have the wonderful Jetty oil build, which cranks out, converts all our sour water into ammonia, and all our ammonia into fertilizer 1, and all our fertilizer 1 to fertilizer 2. We could get more fertilizer by making more diesel, by upgrading more trucks into the mega versions, because they use a lot more diesel than their smaller counterparts. You use 1.1 diesel per minute. You use 2.3. You use 2.3. You use 5. I am doing that. We're upgrading things as fast as possible. We're cranking out as much fertilizer as possible. But, fertilizer. Last year we made 500. I have no idea how it was spent, but it was definitely spent. And fertilizer, 400. We made 400 of the 1 and 500 of the 2. Obviously, if I made less 1 and it would all convert into 2 in a 1-to-1 ratio, obviously I had a small sulfur shortage. Pretty sure that bucket is the cause of my sulfur shortage. It's also the continuous cause of that sulfur shortage, because we're trying to fill up a giant bucket in one hit. Now, I could definitely, try and crank out more diesel. My other option is I could get more sour water, which is actually what we're going to do. We're going to feed our chickens by running our farms harder with more fertilizer, by having more sour water, which we need to find. We need to obtain, and the best way I can think to obtain this is, if we go to our contract section, there is a contract right here, that lets us trade our slag for sour water. Now, normally I don't do this contract because, well, we need some way to spend, normally I don't rush in this contract. No, I don't rush in this contract. I want to have the slag to infill parts of the island. But on the crater map, I don't really have parts of the island I need to infill. Like insular mortars, the skull and crossbones, there's lots of parts of the island you need to infill. I would not dream of setting up this contract anytime soon. Bad idea. But on this particular map, I don't really have any C's, any sections that I desperately need to fill in any great rush. So on this map, we're going to be enabling that contract. Now, that means I need to find out how much slag I have. So if we go back in here and we type in slag, I can see in the last year, I made 1900 slag. That is an awful lot of slag. I also consumed 800 of it. First thing we want to do is we want to stop consuming it. All right, so we're going to come into here. The only place I consume slag is this bucket here, because we turn slag into slag crushed, and we turn slag crushed into concrete slabs. And as I just put in a giant shipyard, we're going through a lot of slag currently into slag crushed into concrete slabs. Now, this comes through a balancer. Because it comes through a balancer, I'm going to prioritize using rock instead, because rock is pretty easy for us to get. One thing I might want to do is zigzag. Zigzag can export into this rock bucket as well, because, well, they get a little bit of rock digging through the rim. So, yeah, we're going to set up this as well. We're going to make sure that this bucket is hopefully very, very full of rock. And we obviously need to use the rock to make the manufactured sand, to make the concrete slabs. But we're also going to start prioritizing this recipe by swapping the input. If we swap the input, then in theory, this bucket will fill up with slag. Once it's full, all our slag pops out to this bucket, at which point it's available. It's available into the network where we can put it on a ship and sell it off for sour water, which is exactly what we need to do right now. So we need to come to a shipyard. We need to cargo docks. We need to put in a fluid module. We're going to put in a fluid module right there. Now, we can see this contract with a size 6 ship is 581 sour water for 1439 slag. So if I bring you up, I can see that my fluid module is going to hold 440. So I'm going to need 2 of those, which then means I need to have a loose module. So we're going to press all the wrong buttons. Cool. You are going to hold 360. So if I look at this, this is 1439. So, well, actually, let's go with 360. I can fit 4 more of those, which is going to be 1440. And this is 1439. So obviously you will have to be solid modules. Yeah. Now I just need to plumb everything together. So we're going to remove that pipe, please. Yep, and we're going to go into storage. I want a fluid storage big boy, and we need to assign a contract. We want to assign that contract, which will autofill all the buckets attached to it. And I'm going to put in a tiny bucket right here with a U-shaped balancer right there. And we're going to go a 60 belt, a 60 belt, a 60 belt, and a 60 belt with a 200 belt right here. Okay, and we're just going to get that built. Now, I need to say slag SL, not SA. Cool. And we're going to max that out. Now, I'm not going to turn off all the slag dumping. No, definitely not. Also, probably need to do something about that. Can you guys just start digging out the iron here? Cool. We don't need to see that. We also don't need to see that. All right. Hello? Okay. Yeah, we're going to import slag. Now, I'm not going to turn off all the slag dumping because we have, like, lots of towers. Lots of towers allow slag. Speaking of towers, you are the old sand mine. We don't need you anymore. You're going to aim there instead and copy, paste, and also build in this little brick wall. That did really well. Cool. Can I do that? And can I do that? Copy. Oh, it does work. No, it didn't work. Okay. Also, I don't need this anymore because this is for the old sand mine that we don't need anymore. Delete. Cool. Not enough Unity. Oh, wow. I spent a lot. Can we turn off? Nothing, honestly. Oh, I just spent a crap ton enabling the edict. Yeah, enabling the contract. Yeah, all right. We're going to have this guy. This guy who was the sand guy. He's going to start dumping here because I want to now, well, fix up my docks. Oh, you are done. Nice. This is our new shipyard. We're going to make you this primary. Also, can I have you load up whatever uranium you have and come back, please? Yep, we need to talk about you coming home. So we're going to start dumping in this little area because I want to even up and I want to fix all my docks. Also, at the same time, I need to, now we've cleaned everything off here, including, well, we don't actually have a ship docked here anymore. So I don't actually mind if we block it in because Mr. Shippy is going to park over there now. We're going to clean up this dock as well. Yeah, Mr. Shippy is on his way, hopefully. All right, so I'm not going to turn off slag dumping because I don't need... Oh, there he is. Here he is. Please, it's a brand new dock. Just be gentle. Don't scratch the ship or the dock. Perfect. Cool. That means you can unload the electronics that I need to dump. Also, well, some electronics too, and some uranium. Perfect. We now have some uranium in the dock, and hopefully when the trucks come and pick up all the, all the electronics too, we can unload some more uranium. Meanwhile, go back and park over there, and I'll just delegate you to be a uranium ship for a little while. So, what I want to do, sorry, eighth time. Can I also replug this back in? Yeah, I'm not at all bad at getting sidetracked. Okay. All right. We're going to have sour water. We're going to have slag. We're going to load up a ship, which we're going to unpause because it probably works better in the unpaused state. All right, we're going to load up this. Now, a couple of things I need to mention. We're not going to turn off dumping of slag. I want to have the trucks have an option to dump slag. That's going to be important. This has the priority for bringing the slag here. So it shouldn't ever be a case where they actually dump slag. But should this bucket be full for any unknown reason, then they still have an option to dump slag in the sea. On top of that, we need to talk about slag, how much we're making, how much we're using, and what our turnaround time is. I still can't type slag. If it helps at all, it is currently 6 a.m. All right, last year we made 2,000. Okay, so if we look at this contract, that's 1,500. So we're going to do 2,000 over 1,500, which means other way around. Yeah, we're going to complete this in 75, 0.75 of a year being 9 months. So we would complete this contract in 9 months. That's the important number I need to get to. So you take 3 months at sea. On top of that, we need to load the ship. You have a loading rate of 90, which means if you're loading in 360, it's going to take us 4 months to load the ship and then 3 months at sea. I don't know if we actually make, when things are running normally, not when I just spent 1 billion construction parts, and then went and upgraded the boxes to make 1 billion more construction parts, whether I actually make 2,000 per year. Like, it's September and we're up to 1,300. So I'm pretty sure that if I turn on this, and now the ship takes 6 months at sea, and we have a 4-month loading time, then I'm pretty sure that that's going to be fine for the ship. I'm pretty sure being a 10-month turnaround, it'll keep up with, well, supply and demand. If I come back and I find out the box is full of slag, which we're going to put an alert on here, notify me if you're more than 50%. More than 50% is 2,000. Let's go with 75%. That's 3,000. If you have more than 3,000 slag in here, that means the ship's not running fast enough, which means I either need to turn off this and cut 3 months off the transport time, or docks. Loose module, small, has a throughput of 90. If I upgrade to the medium module, then you have a throughput of 180. Which means that we're going to go from 4 months to load the ship down to 2 months to load the ship. So I have options to try and mitigate how long the ship takes at sea and, well, how quickly we can load and unload the ship and have it do a turnaround. But you're going to leave and then you're going to bring me back some sour water. Sour water is going to go in this bucket, which is step number 1. Step number 2 is processing the sour water. This is where things get a little bit tricky because we have the jetty oil blueprint, and the jetty oil blueprint works great. Okay, it works great. It has sour water strippers in here because we all like strippers, and in theory, it has overproduction because I have 3 of these, and 3 of these account for, well, 36 sour water each, and the only place we get sour water from is distillation stage 1. So and you produce 18. So 18 and 18 equals 36. So if 2 of these are running, then 1 of these needs to be running. But there's another 2 over here that are currently running. That's sort of a good sign. Means we're making a lot of diesel. Also, we're making a lot of fertilizer, which means 1 of those running. But these are not always running. These make steam. And we have a burn off here at the back where excess petroleum products we don't need come in here and make steam, which means these guys don't run, which technically means I have at least a sour water stripper available who's free, who could do whatever we want. Well, that's good. That's good. That's a start. But is that enough throughput to handle what we need? We're going to bring in 581 every 10 months. So 581 divided by 10 means I need to get 58.1 processed every month. You process 36. So I need 2 of you, because 2 of you will be 72. 72 is going to be overkill. Also means that I'm going to make another 18 ammonia. Now the question is, what do I do with that 18 ammonia to turn it into fertilizer? Well, the answer is it goes into a chemical plant. Now, we might notice our first maybe little issue is you output 9, you output 9, you output 9. 9 times 3 is 27. You input 12 and you input 12. That's only 24. So there is a chance that I might have too much ammonia in the system and therefore might have a problem. We do have an overflow, which I have turned off because it's very, very low chance. Very, very low chance. Extremely small chance in the way I did this oil blueprint that we would ever have too much ammonia in the system. But if we take an external source of sour water, like a boat, oh, I need to actually set that up. I need to plug the bucket around the right way. I need to plug the bucket around the right way. That's why the filter didn't auto set. Yeah, okay. After we plug the bucket around the right way, thank you. You can please delete your comment now. I would appreciate it. We can just leave a comment like, never mind, this comment has been deleted. That sounds like a really good idea, because I noticed it before you got to leave the comment there permanently. All right, we're going to put in a fluid storage to hold a little bit of sour water. Now, as I was saying, if I plug sour water directly into this system, these guys will process it, but then they'll back up on ammonia, which means we're going to be limited by the process of which our chemical plants can process that ammonia. That's going to be the bottleneck for the oil system. It'll keep running, in theory, probably, mostly, but that would be our bottleneck. Now, I can fix this because you guys have a chemical plant version 2. So if I click that button, it'll upgrade it to the next version, and then the next version is going to process it twice the speed, which means I could put in a couple more sour water strippers, not a problem, because we all like strippers. The catch is you're now going to output 60 fertilizer. If I upgraded you as well, you're going to put out another 60 fertilizer. You don't take in 60 fertilizer. In fact, the two of you put together take in 60 fertilizer. So I need to upgrade you. The good news is you also have an upgrade, so I can take you to the next level. So we could upgrade you, and then therefore we could bring in lots of ammonia, like now a total of 48 ammonia. Yep, and turn that into 120 fertilizer, which means that pipe needs to get an upgrade, and that pipe's going to need an upgrade to account for that sort of throughput. And then you are going to take that in and turn that into 84 fertilizer each, which is like 160 fertilizer, which is going to go in that pipe, which handles 200. That's perfectly fine, providing I get all the sour water I need in here, which now means I need to work out two things. I need to work out what you need, which is going to be sour water. Well, we know where that is. That's in that tank. And we can probably bring a pipe across here easy enough. Also, I need to get your secondary input with steam, which, being that this is my oil blueprint, and I sort of planned it to be modular, that's the words I'm looking for, and also expandable, it means that there's fluid pipes everywhere. In fact, this fluid pipe right here is steam. So I could just take some steam off the end and then we'd be good to go. Except we also have to, well, get the ammonia back over into these guys, which, funnily enough, I have this overflow pipe. So if I didn't have this electrolyzer here and this gas vent here, and I plugged into this pipe, which we reversed, then it would flow over to this balancer and then into the chemical plants. This balancer, and then into the chemical plants, and then, well, we could process it into fertilizer. Cool. Okay, well, we've got a plan so far. Also, we're going to output sulfur. Now, sulfur, as you can see, travels on this little belt into this little belt, and then into this balancer, where it's prioritized to go here, yep, and then also out the back. Can I even click on that? Yep. To be accessible on the outside. That belt doesn't need to hang out in the front anymore. We removed all that. Yeah, out the front here and be accessible for trucks to pick it up. Also, we have an input here at the rear, which is where extra fertilizer from things like our scrubbers attached to, well, the power plant, dump their sulfur, and then the trucks can pick up the sulfur and bring it back up and put it into this input box. So we need to sort of get it onto this line somewhere. Now, I do have a bunch of scrubbers up here, which are being belt fed into here, which means I'm pretty sure I could probably get sulfur into this line somehow. Yep. Also, my last item I have is water. I need to output that water somewhere. Now, in case of these ones, they actually output, well, they output into the oil build with a feed-in water pipe to bring in extra water, because it's slightly water negative. But if I put a whole bunch of sour water strippers in here, it's going to be very, very water positive and it's going to back up. So I can't really dump the water into this system. I'd have to dump it into another system. These guys have a bunch of water pipes, and those water pipes come out to this balancer. This balancer runs into this tank, and that tank goes and feeds the water to the oil. Also, it goes into that water, that pipe which goes down to those farms and then over to that city and everywhere else. So if I put a couple of sour water strippers and I plug them into, well, this water pipe, that would deal with that problem as well. So we have a plan. We have a goal, we have an objective. First thing I want to do is I want to move this box. This box is our sulfur input, which I am going to say can get moved. Come back. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. That's going to be my answer. Actually, can I do one better? Can we go for that belt? Look at that. Look at how clean and tidy that is. So that's going to be our sulfur input, which means I don't need the sulfur bucket anymore, which means we are going to bypass that sulfur bucket by running that belt straight through there. So with that done, we are going to remove that and remove that and remove that. Cool. Next thing I want to do is I want to put the build here somewhere. This tower was organized into dumping for this, which is obviously sorted. Yep. So we don't need that tower anymore. You can go away. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to rearrange the things that I'm going to potentially block off, well, this input. Now, this input is our trash bucket. Our trash bucket. If we happen to dig up trash around the map, it would go into this bucket. Now, if I'm using mega diggy boys and mega trucks, they're a little bit too big to go into pipes. Well, unless you're using Jetty's special pipes. Yeah, we're going to ignore that factor for right now. So I want to move you. I will put you here. Now, if I put you here, if I put anything within 2 tiles of this, that would block it off, okay? We're oxygen. We're short oxygen. We'll come back to oxygen. If I put anything, sorry, within 3 tiles. If I put a pipe here, that would block trucks. But if I put a pipe here or here, that won't block it off. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove you and... I'm going to be reasonably confident that I can put you here instead. I'm not going to build you yet because I'm not super confident, but I'm reasonably confident. All right. Next thing I want to do is I want to grab a pair of strippers. Strippers are always better in a pair, so we're going to grab a pair of them. Now, we need to talk about some of the pipes. You're going to need, as I said, sour water and steam in, and then your output water we're going to deal with by going to the right, which means I don't need this at the back anymore. I also, if 1 pair is good, 2 pairs are better. So we're going to have 2 pairs of strippers. Yeah. So water. We're going to start with water. We need to plug that in, and then I need to actually just remove that, plug that in. Oh boy, plug that in. We're going to flip the water to go to our now left. Well, mostly. Yeah, we're just to the left. Okay. We're going to, am I going to put you there? I'm going to move you further up. I think I'm going to put you... Ooh. Yeah, this is one of the pipes. How many tiles do I need? You are 2 tiles away. So let's pretend that we're going to keep things straight and level with the other one. So, you know what? I think we're going to put you here. Yeah, I think I'm going to put you there and I'm going to actually keep you there. All right. So let's grab our sulfur. And our sulfur we're going to bring... forward, and actually, can you just join into one of these pipes and one of these belt? I'll take it. We're just going to dump the sulfur directly into that belt. Cool. That'll be problem number 1 sorted. Problem number 2 is going to be the ammonia, which needs to go over that building and into that pipe. Okay, try again. Height 2, height 3, and into that pipe. Perfect. And then we're going to take this one and plug it into that pipe. Cool. That is going to be how we're going to deal with our ammonia. We're going to output 9 times 4 equals 36, which means I don't have to upgrade the pipe. I do need to dump the water. Water is going to come out here and into this. This is a water pipe, I hope. Yes, that is a clean water pipe, so we're going to dump the water out there. All right, so that just leaves bringing in steam and also sour water. So steam is, well, we already know steam is this pipe. So we're going to take steam under, over. Let's go over, and wherever I put this is going to block off trucks getting in here. We don't really need trucks getting in there ever. I hope at least. Actually, I just noticed that pipe doesn't need to be there. And I'm looking at this spaghetti. I'm like, can I neaten up this spaghetti? I probably could actually. Do I want to neaten up this spaghetti? That's a whole new question. You know what? I do want to remove that. That doesn't help me at all. hasn't helped me at all in my quest, but sure. All right, so we're gonna go steam. Steam is gonna go be this bottom pipe. We're gonna bring you under. Yeah, I'm gonna bring you under, and I'm gonna bring you over to this tile. There, please, and there. Okay. We have steam and sour water in any combination, and we're just going to plug you in there and there. That is one combination. The second combination is sour water, which is this pipe right here. So I'm going to bring that, and the oil build is designed to be in a nice straight line, where I should be able to bring you up over the top, around here, and down to here. And then if we just remove those pipes, I should be able to take my new sour water pipe, plug that in there, and in there, and in there, and in there. And then I don't need that, I don't need that, and I do need that built. And that should be everything fixed up and ready to go to run 2 extra sour water strippers. People is a problem. Actually, I don't need you and you. We know 2 is enough. All right. So all I need to do is get my sour water from here into there. Now, I could feed it in here somewhere. That'd be fine. By the same token, sour water starts here. This is the output for sour water, so I could just dump it into this pipe right here, which is going to be our plan. So we're going to grab a pipe, tier 2. We're going to bring you up and run you under there and through to here. Here. I'm going to keep you a little bit short because I'm going to end up filling in and ramping in this area in the future, and I'd like to not have to move the pipes 5 or 6 times. We are going to bring you all the way over to here. Yep. And then grab a little bridge and put a little bridge here. And run... Can I just build that pipe, please? And run this pipe under here. And sure, that actually works for me. Into there. Alright, that should be our sour water plugged in. Yep, you're full of sour water, you're full of sour water, which is going to absolutely flood this sour water pipe. Now, you might say, Jetty, that is a problem. You're going to end up flooding your sour water, and you're not going to be able to process any sour water. And that would be mostly true, except every single time it passes through a connector, it has a 50-50 split. So rather than it blocking up the sour water pipe and then these guys not being able to output, they'll at least be able to output 50% of the time. It's not a perfect situation, okay? I mean, much better to put it in like at this point where all the sour water is and put in a balancer and say, hey, prioritize our oil sour water first and then this is secondary and feed in all of them. But I don't have the room for that because we're retrofitting an existing build. But you guys should be up and running. You should dump everything here. The only thing I didn't account for is you need twice the amount of oxygen, which means I need one of these guys, which we now have a little bit of free space right here, which means I'm going to dump you right there. How do I plug oxygen to that? I plug oxygen in. You go away. I plug oxygen into there. Build, upgrade, build, and then I need the oxygen from this one through here and into there. Cool, done and done. All right, that should be. Oh, you need 6 workers. You need 6 workers. I got 6 available. Cool, we're done. Perfect. Down to 0 workers again. Yeah. But we should have you guys processing. Yes, sulfur's going out. Ammonia's going into this balancer, which is then running these guys pretty hard, which is then running these guys pretty hard. We need to upgrade that belt, that belt, that belt. And how much do you output? 12, 24, 5 is 60. So technically we don't need to upgrade the belts just yet. But we might upgrade. I don't actually want you to flow out any faster. We're just going to upgrade those 2. Because this is input from, well, the bucket and all sorts of places. So we're going to make sure that one runs a little bit faster. We're going to make sure the ones into the machines run a bit more faster. Not that they really need to, but it means they can buffer more on the belts. A little bit more, and that's all that matters. And this is also where I'm going to leave this episode. Sure, I need to maybe assign a little bit more coal digging. Can you go 1, 2 tiles? 2 tiles. A little bit more coal digging, but we have a new pair of strippers, and we also are going to up our fertilizer count, hopefully by a reasonable amount. Can I edit you there to there? And it means fertilizer. Last year we made 600. We've already made 600 so far, and we're in June. Yep. We're going to vastly increase our fertilizer 2 and fertilizer 1. Well, we've made 600. Last year only made 460. Yep. We've already surpassed that. And you guys are going to dig. Cool. But yes, it means that I need to end this episode here. We've got a lot done. We've got a lot more to do. And with our new contract up and running, it means that in theory, all my farms should be able to max out their fertilizer. Also means in the next episode, we're probably going to upgrade them all to greenhouses too, for even more food to hopefully feed the chickens. Because it's all about the chickens. If you look at it this way, we're feeding chickens slag. Yep, we're exporting our slag to feed our chickens. It's a different way of thinking about things. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the very next video. All right, bye.